And we are back with another episode of the Daily Deuce. It's your favorite father and son sports team, Dante Webster, and
Hey, I'm John Webster. Good to see you, Dante. Another episode of Daily Deuce. Let's go for it.
another time to get on down here and do this thing again. So since we last spoke, it's been a lot of baseball going on. We've made it past the All-Star break, past the worst day in sports where there is nothing on except, no, it's the day after the ESPYs where there's nothing on at all, like at all. So we are in the thick of it right now. We've got a bunch of division races going on. A lot of things are heating up right now in baseball. What are you seeing right now? What are you liking?
Well, really a lot of exciting baseball right now. Yankees are ahead in the East. Red Sox have already beaten them 3 times this weekend, going for a sweep today.
With a 19-3 victory earlier last week, I believe.
Yeah. So the Red Sox are playing great. Cleveland Indians are one of the hottest teams in the American League, and they are still a wild card right now. They're 20 games above 500, but I think Minnesota's still in first place. The West, Houston is winning the West. Oakland's trying to get a wild card. Right now they're tied with Boston for the second wild card spot, so we'll see what's going to happen there. Out in the National League, where you have your beloved Nationals,
Nationals, one of the hottest teams in baseball.
one of the hottest teams in baseball, but they can't seem to ever do anything with the Dodgers. So,
Fair enough.
lost last night. I think they lost Friday night. 5.5 back, but they're in the driver's seat for the first wild card position. Central Division, St. Louis is in first place. The Cubs are having problems. They can't find a good closer in the bullpen. The bullpen keeps imploding. That's something the Nationals can really relate to. And out west, the Dodgers, 30-some games above 500 and
15
doing their
games
thing.
ahead in their division.
Doing their thing. And let's not forget the Orioles. The Orioles are on a 3-game
Winners
winning
of
streak
3
right
games
now.
in a row.
Oh,
yeah.
yes, yes.
It's a great time to be an Orioles fan. It's Orioles magic, is that what it
It is, and they no longer have the worst record in baseball.
You should really want the worst record so you can get prospects.
You can still get a prospect with the second worst record in baseball. That's where they are right now.
Yeah, you're right. But I want the first best. That's just me, I guess. You said the Twins were in first place in the AL Central. I was going to ask you, does Joe Mauer still play for them? That's how long it's been since I think I paid attention to Twins baseball. I really don't remember anymore.
I think Mauer's playing. I think maybe this is his last year. I
remember back when it was Joe Mauer, Justin Morneau, and those guys that were playing for the Twins. Yeah, that was the last time I remember the Twins being really relevant.
I think Mauer plays first base now.
Oh yeah, I know he went away from catcher.
Yeah, so-
Can't guarantee he still plays it.
But they have a really good team this year. They're really tough. The Yankees, even at the beginning of the season, the Yankees were pretty much playing a AAA lineup because they had so many injuries, and they still were plugging away, beating everybody, and they still are one of the best teams in baseball, without a doubt. Boston is just making a run right now. Even if Boston wins this series, they're still back 7 games because right now they're back 8. So if they win tonight, it's 7. If they lose tonight, it's 9. New York's still in the driver's seat, still got a comfortable lead going into the playoffs.
Who won the World Series last year?
Last year, who won the World Series? Was that the Houston Astros?
That's what I was trying to decide because I think that we're still on course for Dodgers Astros. I think.
No, take it back. It was the Boston Red Sox.
Boston, yes, there we
Boston
go.
won it
Thank you.
last
Me.
year.
I was about to say, because I
Boston
remember
Red
Astros were really good, but they didn't win it all.
Yeah.
And it looks like we're on course for another Houston and LA World Series right now. Is there anybody that you see breaking that up? Like, do you see one team making that move to get somebody like I think the Mets are going to probably have a fire sale. I think Wheeler's going to be on the market. Syndergaard's going to be out there too. I think Bumgarner may be out there for the Giants. Do you see any team making a big splash and like potentially getting in the way of that, or do you think that the Texas-California matchup is just inevitable?
Well, in the National League, our hope is the Cubs. You know that.
I don't think they'll win. But all right, yeah, go ahead.
I hope it's them. Right now, they're in a tie. They're 1 game back, but also on a tie for second place and the second wild card with Milwaukee right now. I hope they can make a move, but their bullpen is really giving them a lot of problems. The Nats, all jokes aside, if the Nats can pull their bullpen together,
They'd be okay.
they're a tough team. I mean, you're 2 or 5 days, you're sending Strasburg and Scherzer to the mound. Nobody else in baseball can do that. I mean,
that right there.
That's tough.
Solid.
That's really solid. The Dodgers are solid all the way through. 1 through 9, they're a very good team.
So you think it's still up in the air, and we shouldn't just think it's the Dodgers' pennant to win just yet?
I would say some things can still happen. And in the American League, you want to say things can still happen, but I'm not a big Yankees fan, but they are just loaded. Even with CC Sabathia, I think he went to the injured list today. Really doesn't matter. I mean, he's hurt. You don't want anybody to be hurt.
But they still have other guys.
Their pitching is still loaded. I mean, the bullpen, the closer, they're tough.
So to put you on the spot right now, I know I would still say Astros, Dodgers. Who would you say right now if you just had to take one guess?
Hate to do it. Yankees. I really don't want to see this as a World Series. Yankees, Dodgers.
The television markets would love it.
And
that is our prediction. We will come back and revisit this again in a month, and we will see if we're still on track for that. It'll be very interesting to see, but that's our baseball for right now. We are going to see what happens going forward. And we are back. And for our second segment today, let's talk about everything that's happened in the NBA since we've last spoke. I know we gave some free agency predictions previously, but wow, the NBA has had a very, very, very fast, I'd say it would just be a month. Yeah, that's it. Because I think everything started for them on, June 30th, July 1st, one or the other. And so since that time, we have seen so much movement in the NBA, and a lot of guys have changed teams. Headlined by the fact that the Lakers now have Anthony Davis. LeBron James, Anthony Davis. Those two are together. In the Staples Center, we also now have Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, who probably pulled off the biggest surprise, because I know a lot of people probably thought Kawhi Leonard was either going to the Lakers or staying with the Raptors, and he got everybody and decided he was going to the Clippers, and he somehow managed to pull along Paul George for the ride. And then we also have, Houston now has Russell Westbrook and James Harden together, and Chris Paul's in no man's land, Oklahoma City. Can't forget that one. But what do you think has been the biggest thing to happen thus far in the offseason? A whole lot of other things we didn't name, but just in general, what do you think has been the biggest thing?
I think the biggest surprise in my mind, Dante, was not Kawhi Leonard going to the Clippers. I could see that coming. Paul George joining him in LA. That's really a surprise. That really puts the Clippers in a position where they are trying to be the main show in Los Angeles. I mean, the Lakers have made some good moves. You have LeBron. LeBron's still one of the top 5 players in the league. I can't sit here and say he's the best anymore. He's 35 years old, but he's still one of the top 5. You got Anthony Davis. If he can stay healthy, Anthony Davis has had injuries in the past. If he can stay healthy.
2 seasons before this one, played 70 games.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I know you're a big Lakers fan, so
I'm the same as you when it comes to Anthony Davis. His health. I'm looking on the bright side.
Yeah, you're looking at the bright side, and I don't want to see you crying another year because
I didn't cry. When they lose, I always say they should tank and just get the draft picks so you can flip it. They don't have any more draft picks, though, because of the trade for Anthony Davis, so there really is no point in losing anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
You would feel pretty
Yeah,
bad.
I'm about to say, now there's nothing to lose for. Yeah, you got rid of all the young talent. Yeah, there's nothing to lose for anymore.
Yeah. So you look at that. The West is going to be really tough. I was also surprised by the move that the Golden State Warriors made by signing D'Angelo Russell. That's going to be interesting because Russell is going to a team now that plays a more open type of basketball, and there's really no ball dominance with Golden State. The ball is free-flowing and moving at all times. And Russell, when he was with the Nets last year, a lot of pick and rolls for him. At the end of that 24-second clock, it was on him to make some things happen. Can he fit in Golden State? That's going to be the key. Or are you just getting him simply to hold your spot until Klay Thompson comes back, and then you're going to try to flip him for some other player or some other draft pick?
Well, the biggest thing would be how long can their defense hold out with D'Angelo Russell and Steph Curry being your lead guards? Klay Thompson always had the toughest defensive assignment in terms of the backcourt for the other team. Now, basically, you're putting this in a position where it's going to be Steph and D'Angelo Russell, and one of them is going to have to guard somebody that's probably going to be able to get by them or work them over. So now you're going to wonder what's going to happen there, or if they want to try to reintegrate Klay Thompson into this, is it going to work if you try to run D'Angelo Russell's still about 6'6", but I mean, if you ran Steph Curry, D'Angelo Russell, Klay Thompson at your 3, Draymond at your 4, and somebody like Looney at your 5, will you still be as dangerous? That's not a Hamptons 5 lineup. They don't have the toughness of an Iguodala. They don't have the height of a Kevin Durant anymore, where you have a 6'11" guy who can shoot it from everywhere on the court. It changes everything. So I think they do have many questions that'll be answered this season. Like, It's Golden State, so they won't be a bad team by any means. I think they'll make the playoffs, but it's still one of those things where everything's basically changed overnight for them.
It has changed, but you said it yourself. They're still Golden State. I don't think they'll win a championship this year, but I really think they're going to be in the thick of things and surprise some people this year. I think they'll probably be about a 4th seed, and they will be a dangerous 4th seed by the time the playoffs come around because Klay Thompson will be back. They don't have Durant. Durant is one of the 1 or 2 best players in the league, flat out. That's a big thing to lose. But as you lost him, you also picked up some stuff for your center position. So you picked up Willie Cauley-Stein. He's not Kevin Durant, but he's more of a rim protector. And you also had Kevin Looney. So now you got 2 of those guys, in my opinion, that do the garbage work. They'll fit in really well there. You lost Livingston and you lost Iguodala. Those were 2 good players as well. But I like to think that Golden State made a move where those guys were let go because of their age, and they got rid of them a year too early as opposed to a year too late. And let's not forget about our Boston Celtics.
They say our Boston Celtics. They are not even going to be that. Okay, they got Kemba.
They got Kemba Walker. They also signed Enes Kanter.
That's a negative. That's a negative move right there.
They're going to be a better team in the East this year, Dante.
Oh yeah, because the team doesn't hate each other. But I mean, trading out Kemba for Kyrie, just in terms of players, just like this, you didn't really go better. You didn't go up. You didn't go down either. It's just lateral movement. You got better by chemistry. So in that move, it would be addition by subtraction. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Chemistry is important on the team. You play sports, you know.
Chemistry is big. If you don't like each other, you're not gonna try.
It hurts. Yeah, it hurts if you don't like your teammates. I mean, you can say all you want that when you go on the court, you're professional. Forget the fact that I can't stand you, you can't stand me. Yes, you say that, but it really helps if you have some people that are on the same wavelength. It definitely helps, and Boston is a team to watch, my friend. Boston is a team to watch.
I'll probably stick with the Sixers and their 4 centers. So, Al Horford, Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, that's a center, not a point guard, just throwing it out there. Yeah, so I'll stick with the Sixers in their 3-center lineup right now.
Saw Ben Simmons playing a game this summer.
You saw him putting up threes?
And he was hitting jumpers.
Yeah, I bet he won't do it in the game. We'll see. We'll literally see what happens. We'll see if he actually wants to shoot threes in the season. That'll be the thing that swings the whole season for Philadelphia. For a $170 million player that's only shot 13 threes in their career. We'll see exactly what happens to them. And it is August, which means we are back to football time. We have training camps all across the NFL have opened up, including for the beloved Washington Redskins. Not my team of choice personally, but they're local here, and we understand that, they are the talk of the town. You looking forward to the Redskins this season? How you feel about the fact that Trent Williams isn't going to show up for camp and has vowed to basically never play again because they didn't help him with, a benign growth in his head, I believe, or something like that? Yeah, that was really good. Medical staff, great.
I've always said I am a realistic Redskins fan. I haven't really been a big Redskins fan since
Doug Williams playing.
Back Joe Gibbs, Doug Williams, but the first Joe Gibbs. I think there are some challenges within the organization. I've always said that to you.
Hopefully they won't fire Bruce Allen no matter what he does.
Well, hopefully this thing with this situation with Trent Williams will work out for the best.
You mean he has to leave town because he's not going to play for them? I don't see that happening.
The situation is really serious.
Yeah.
Allegedly a misdiagnosis of a tumor. That's past football now. We're talking about something that's life-threatening, and that's something that I don't know if the Redskins and Trent Williams are going to be able to work this out. We'll have to see. It's just a rough situation. I said it even before this situation happened. The Redskins this year, like I say every year, 7-9,
6,
maybe 8-8, 6-10.
Well, the biggest thing would become now you're bringing in. Potentially, you're going to bring in a rookie quarterback who, let's be honest here, he won't get to start week 1, but by week 8, I imagine he will be the starting quarterback after they've ran through the first 2 guys.
I would say by week 4, Haskins will be back there.
You got 2 guys to get through. I think they'll give 6. I'll give you a happy medium, week 6. By week 6, you'll put him out there. Trent Williams is an all-pro left tackle. Basically, you're going to send a rookie out there on his blind side. Nobody's going to be out there. Well, I'm sorry, Eric Flowers, who was drafted by the Giants in the first round and got ran out of town because he couldn't stop water at all. So, I mean, what's this? What is he going to do? Really? You're going to send a rookie quarterback out there with that? He's going to get the snot beat out of him.
Really, you have to look at what I would say is a top-notch A1 organization if you want to know how to run a football team correctly. You just go up north and look at the Super Bowl champions, who are the New England Patriots, who, that's...
Yeah, but they can plug guys in. The Redskins, by all accounts from everything I've read and seen, had a decent draft. They did a good job, but it's just, yet again, the Redskins are doing bad in the people department. And it's just one of those things where you're just watching it, and it's like, any good work or any goodwill that you may have gotten through the draft all goes away, because yet again you have problems with players where they're not happy with the situation. And then you have your starting quarterback out here playing Matador in Spain. What's that one about? I mean...
I think the Redskins, you remember the old, no, I wasn't Charlie Brown. It was the old Flintstone show where they had a guy called Bad Luck Schleprock. There was always a rain cloud over his head. That's the Redskins organization. If something's going to go wrong, it can go wrong, unfortunately. You have Josh Norman. He's running with the Bulls in Papelona.
There's nothing wrong with having fun, but I mean, you got to think about it. If you're getting paid millions of dollars, it's not really a thing you want to go do, or should be doing probably.
But in Norman's words, it all worked out, so...
You're right. You're still alive, so I mean, you didn't get trampled. Yeah, you left with all your functions. You're absolutely right. I guess it all worked out.
And the Redskins have always been an organization that have made news and have won the offseason. They've never done things consistently in the regular season to be looked at as a consistent winner. They struggle. I mean, you look at like a Pittsburgh Steelers, or you look at the Baltimore Ravens, or the New England Patriots. Consistent winners. Organization, not team. They always put a lot of other stuff on the back burner. You don't hear about them a lot, doing crazy things, but the Redskins will always win the offseason. You'll make the big signing. Well, now they've gotten away from making the big signings because they saw those work negatively against them. But now you still have things working where you have a situation with Trent Williams that has to be figured out with the Redskins. You have Josh Norman running with the Bulls and jumping with the Bulls. So they need to find a way to get off the front pages in the offseason and find a way to win and be on the front page in the regular season.
Who do you think starts week one?
For the Redskins?
For the Redskins, who do you think starts week one?
What are my choices?
Colt McCoy, Case Keenum, and Haskins, yeah. Week one.
Do we have a coin?
The three-sided coin? Because that's two backups and a rookie. I'd probably rather see the rookie go out there and start week one, but I'm pretty sure it'll end up, I guess it'll be Case Keenum.
I would say Case Keenum, but I'll tell you, I'm almost tempted. Just put Haskins out there. Just put him out there.
You just probably are. You made such a big deal out of signing Case Keenum, and you put him in some of your off-season promo material, so you're not just going to sit there and leave him on the bench.
Case Keenum be a starter. McCoy knows the offense better than any of the three of them, but he's injury prone. So
he's not very good. You left out a huge part of that too. He is injury prone. You're absolutely right. Outside of that one game in Dallas where he beat the Cowboys, which is basically a home game for him. Yeah, no, that's the least of his issues, is that he is injury prone.
And that still eats at you since you're a Cowboy.
Absolutely, yeah, we should have lost to him. No offense to him, he's had a job for quite some time.
How do you really feel about him, Dante?
He's probably a nice guy. He's just not a great quarterback in the NFL. If you want to talk about his college days, he was great. He was awesome. That's not now, so it doesn't really matter.
So we'll say Case Keenum with a close second being Haskins.
I'll say Case Keenum with the close second being Colt McCoy. I don't really think they're going to play Dwayne Haskins until they have to. So that's how I'm looking at this. But again, I guess week one, we'll see what happens. And I guess in the preseason, we'll see.
I'll leave you with this thought.
Go ahead.
Haskins playing and not playing will not be Jay Gruden's decision. So that's why I think Haskins will be playing sooner rather than later.
That makes sense. That definitely